Have you ever seen a woman come back after she was the one who walked away from you? She once ignored you, dismissed you, but now she checks your social media every night in silence. Not because you begged, not because you tried to win her back, but because you pulled away, you went silent, and you became a man she no longer recognized. This isn't magic, this is psychology, and this is the power of walking away. The right way? Welcome to Stoic Wisdom, a place for men who understand that true attraction doesn't come from pleasing women, but from mastering yourself. Today, you're going to discover 10 deep psychological reasons why she starts craving you again after you walk away. And I have one question for you. Will they remember the weak version of you, or become obsessed with the one they can't replace? Let's begin. Part 1. The shock of unexpected growth. When you walk away, they expect you to fade, to wait, to watch from the sidelines, hoping, hurting, and eventually crawling back. But what happens when you don't? What happens when instead of sulking in the shadows, you emerge stronger, sharper, more grounded, a man they no longer recognize? That's the shock they never saw coming. They thought they had you figured out, predictable, familiar, safe. But now you're evolving in silence, building in private. And when they finally look again, you're no longer the same man they once dismissed. This unexpected growth isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your narrative. When you take the pain they caused and turn it into power, that transformation hits them harder than any message you could send. Growth speaks louder than words, and the silence of your absence paired with the echo of your evolution becomes impossible to ignore. Part 2. The mirror effect. But it doesn't stop there. Your growth does more than surprise them. It reflects something uncomfortable back at them. See, when a man begins to rise, he becomes a mirror. And what they see in that mirror is who they haven't become. Suddenly, your self-discipline, your confidence, your peace, all of it exposes their own chaos, their lack of direction. It's not just that you've changed, it's that your change now forces them to confront themselves. And that confrontation? It doesn't feel good. So now, their thoughts of you aren't just rooted in missing what they had. It's envy, regret, reflection. You're no longer the man who chased approval. You've become the man who raises the standard, just by existing. That's why your absence starts haunting them. Not just emotionally, but existentially. Part 3. The pull of self-sufficiency. Now here's where it gets magnetic. When they sense that you no longer need them, that you've stopped orbiting around their validation, something primal kicks in. Self-sufficiency isn't cold, it's captivating. Because when a man becomes whole on his own, when he learns to enjoy his own company, to validate himself, to thrive without needing someone to complete him, he becomes irresistibly rare. You're no longer the man who chased, you're the man who chooses. And in that shift, you become a source of calm, of mystery, of power. They wonder, how is he doing so well without me? Who is he becoming now? And most haunting of all, what if someone else sees what I failed to see? That's when craving begins, not from attachment, but from recognition. Recognition that you no longer belong to their world, because you've built a better one. Part 4. The power of controlled mystery. Here's the truth. People lose interest in what they can predict, and you used to be predictable. They knew your next move, your texts, your patterns, your emotional reactions. But now there's distance, and with it comes mystery. You're no longer showing all your cards. You're no longer broadcasting your every thought, your every emotion. You've become less available, not out of spite, but out of focus. And that quiet shift creates chaos in their mind. They start asking questions. Why is he so silent? Who's he spending time with? What changed? The more they don't know, the more they want to find out. You're not playing games. You're simply too grounded to overshare, too focused to explain yourself. And that makes you powerful, because mystery pulls people in. It breaks routine. It stirs curiosity. And curiosity is the beginning of desire. Part 5. The social value shift. Here's where it gets uncomfortable for them. They start seeing others take notice of you. Maybe it's subtle. A friend compliments your transformation. Someone new comments on your confidence. You're glowing differently and people are drawn to it. Suddenly, your social value rises. You're no longer the guy waiting in the corner of their life. You're the man others admire, the man others now compete for, and that hurts their ego. Because what was once taken for granted has now become desirable to others. They start watching closely. Who's commenting on your photos? Who are you spending time with? And most importantly, what if someone else gets the best version of you? They didn't expect you to become valuable in their absence. But now they're afraid someone else will recognize the treasure they overlooked. It's not just jealousy. It's fear of being replaced. And it ignites a craving they can't shut off. Part 6. The rise of your masculine polarity. Here's something few people talk about. True masculine energy isn't loud. It doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It leads. And when you walk away to rebuild, to reconnect with your purpose, your discipline, your stillness, you begin radiating something rare in this world. Unshakable presence, not needy, not performative, but grounded. That energy is magnetic. It's the kind of strength that doesn't have to prove itself. It simply exists, calm, focused, unapologetic. And women? They feel it. Deeply, because masculine polarity creates safety and intrigue at the same time. It's not about dominance. It's about direction. The moment you stop trying to convince anyone of your worth and start living like a man with vision, you become the gravity they can't resist. Part 7. The pain of realization. Now we get to the moment that hits them hardest. The realization of what they've lost. It doesn't come immediately, not while they're distracted, not while they're still surrounded by noise, but eventually, there's silence. And in that silence, they start to notice what's missing. Your presence, your stability, your care. Gone. At first, they brush it off. Maybe he's just busy. Maybe he'll come back. But days turn into weeks. And slowly, the truth settles in. You're not coming back. Now every memory feels different. The way you listened, the way you supported them, the way you showed up. They start to feel the weight of your absence, not just in their heart, but in the small, quiet corners of their everyday life. Because now they're left with a haunting thought. What if I let go of the one person who truly saw me? That pain, it lingers, and with it comes craving. Part 8. The desire to rejoin your journey. Here's what happens next. They start watching you from afar, and what they see surprises them. You didn't collapse without them. You didn't get stuck in bitterness. You leveled up. You're on a new path now. More purpose, more peace, more progress. And that journey, it looks damn good on you. Now they're not just missing who you were. They're craving to be part of who you're becoming. Your growth creates a sense of urgency. They don't want to be left behind. They don't want to watch you succeed without them in the picture. But here's the catch. They know the old version of themselves can't come along. If they want to be part of your new chapter, they'll have to grow too. Because this time, you're not shrinking yourself to make space for someone else. You're building a life that requires effort to enter. Part 9. The question. They can't stop asking. Here's the fear that keeps them up at night. What if someone else gets to have him now? It's not just jealousy. It's not just regret. It's the raw, gut-level fear of being replaced by someone who values what they ignored, who sees what they missed, who treats you how they never did. They picture it. You with someone new, someone smiling at you the way they used to, someone holding your attention the way they took for granted. And that fear, it burns because they thought you'd always be there, waiting, wishing. But now, you're becoming someone that others desire, and they might never get another chance. That's when the craving becomes real, not just emotional, but visceral. And the worst part? It's too late to control it. Part 10. The threat of being replaced. By now, they're haunted by one thought. I might have just lost him to someone better. This isn't just insecurity. It's the realization that you're now a prize they can't reclaim at will. You've elevated. You've healed. And most importantly, you're no longer waiting. They start noticing how others respond to you. Maybe you're dating again. Maybe you're surrounded by new energy. Maybe you're simply happier. And every smile you give to someone else feels like a dagger to the version of them that thought you'd never leave. It's not about needing you back. It's about not being able to handle someone else having you now. They thought they had time. They thought they could always circle back. But now, the door's closing, and panic sets in. That's the power of walking away with purpose. You stop being an option and become the one that got away. Part 11. The shift in power dynamics. Let's talk about something deeper. Power, not control, not dominance, but inner strength. When you were constantly available, they held the power. They dictated the rhythm. You followed. But now, you've reversed the polarity. You don't seek. You attract. You don't explain. You embody. And that reversal is hard to ignore. You're no longer the man trying to earn their love. You're the man who knows his value and expects others to rise to it. That shift changes everything. They feel it when they talk to you. In your voice, your posture, your silence. You're no longer playing their game. You've created your own playing field. And now they're the ones hoping to be chosen. Part 12. You've become irreplaceable. Here's the final truth. They don't crave you because they're lonely. They crave you because they know there's no one else like you. You walked away and became a man of substance, a man with standards, a man with direction. And once someone has felt the energy of a man like that, every other interaction feels hollow. You're not the guy who settles. You're not the guy who begs. You're not the guy who bends to fit their story. You are the man who writes his own. And that's unforgettable. Because real power isn't about getting them back. It's about getting yourself back. And when you do that, you don't just become attractive, you become unshakable. So now the question is simple. Are you willing to become the man they can't forget? Or will you stay stuck being the man they never respected? Drop a comment and tell me what part of your journey you're focused on right now. And if this hit home, like the video. Subscribe to Stoic Wisdom. And share this with a brother who needs to remember who the hell he is. Your power was never in her hands. It was in you all along. Keep walking, keep rising, and never settle.